welcome Starcraft Nation to another broadcast. I am your host Venerati, and today this is the second matchup in between LiquidTLO and Torch coming from the MLG Dallas 2010 series. Now we are on Desert Oasis, and we saw them go head-to-head on Metalopolis, we saw them go up against each other on Lost Temple beforehand, and we saw Torch pretty much get not 100% contained, but he definitely didn't maintain a battlefield presence throughout most of the game. And we did actually see a base race at the end, but LiquidTLO had way too many bases, and Torch ended up losing that game, but it was an entertaining game nonetheless, as we did see actually a massive SCV charge. So that was pretty cool, one way or the other. Right now, we are on Desert Oasis, like I already said, and we have a scouting drone running across there. This massive distance is really going to force our players to send out those scouting drones, or just scouting harvesters pretty early on, period. When you see Torch putting a supply bunker, or supply depot at the foot of the ramp, and it looks like he's going to be planning to basically just wall off like he did last time. You're not so much, you're really not going to be seeing as much Zergling Rush and Baneling Bust on this map as you would see the other ones due to the fact of the length of the map. But Metabolic Boost really cuts this long distance in half, really, because it just, those little Zerglings are so very fast. But what you really see on this map, of course, is air. A lot of Mutalisks, a lot of Banshees. Actually, I played Torch on this same exact map, and he knocked me out with Banshees. So we're going to see that. Maybe not. Actually, we had the exact same matchup, me and him. I was Zerg, same position. He was Terran, and yeah, it was a fun game. Actually got in his mineral line. But right now we have Torch finishing up the barracks. We'll be cranking out that Marine. We'll be rallying it on the drone, and Torch is going to go ahead and snag that other refinery now. I'm not sure if he's going to be going for a really heavy Vespene build, or if he just snagged that so that LiquidTLO couldn't snag it with his drone. So one way or another, that was preemptive, and we do see a factory going down right there. We don't have any SCVs pumping out right now, as that factory does cost a pretty penny, and he just built that second refinery. So actually haven't had more than enough money to build SCV, and we're not seeing an SCV coming out. Oh, that's why, because we're actually seeing an orbital command. So LiquidTLO, meanwhile, over on his side of the base, is going to go ahead and have that hatchery finishing up. Going to be going for pretty standard build. Had the early hatch down. Has the spawning pool. We don't see him getting metabolic boost yet. He does not have the required minerals, but generally you'll see him if he wants to go for a really early Zergling push. He would have already had the minerals for that. So we are going to see him go ahead and start populating that. We don't actually see a LiquidTLO actually makes a comment right there, as he does see the Overlord was able to see that. I was going to take a look at the vision. Yes, he was able to see that Ghost Academy right there. So LiquidTLO will be seeing that and is going to be anticipating some sort of shenanigans, as you don't see that too often against Zerg. Maybe a little bit more against Protoss, as the EMP rounds from the Ghost are so effective at nullifying the Protoss shields. We do have a starport coming down, so we're seeing a belated 111. I don't know what this is, a 1111 from Torch. As this Ghost Academy is going to go ahead and start building a nuke. So Torch is going to be throwing down a nuke in a pretty strong tournament. So this is going to be pretty crazy if he's actually going to be able to land it, because if anyone's going to be able to land it, I would hope that Torch would. So LiquidTLO is going to have to watch out for that. Now, he does not have lair tech at all, so he has nothing to detect. He doesn't have an evolution chamber down, so he can't build spore crawlers. So right now, Torch's ghosts just invulnerable as long as they're cloaked. So we do see the medevac going down, so we're probably going to see a drop of some sort, as we do see a second Ghost Academy coming for Torch. So Torch really going to be looking to lay down the law with these nukes, as that's going to be pretty crazy, as we already had the one finished. And do we see another Ghost coming out? Not yet. We do see lair tech just started on the natural, so LiquidTLO will be able to see stuff here momentarily, as I bet you money that as soon as that hatchery finishes into a lair, we are going to see an Overseer. as LiquidTLO is bringing up the metabolic boost. The metabolic boost is really going to help him because he does have a lot of Zerglings on the field. Let's go take a look at the units tab. He has 24 Zerglings, so looks like he's going to be pushing with a relatively solid ball of Zerglings. And yes, we already do see them moving out a little bit here. And we have the other nuke and another ghost coming on. Well, actually, no, on the field. We see the second nuke coming. Where is? Does he have another ghost? No, he does not have a second ghost. We see the a command center queued up for Torch, but Torch's SCV is going to be ambushed by these Zerglings, going to be killed. We see Torch closing the front door. Very good. We see this medevac over here, though, with a Hellion, 2 Marines, and a Ghost. So we're probably going to see a nuke here pretty soon from Torch, and Torch is going to go ahead and be building command center in the safety of his base, and then we'll probably be floating it over here or over to the island expansion. Now, right now, we do have the medevac dropping off the units here. We have the Ghost moving up, sees the creep, and is going to be actually throwing the nuke across the way. I'm not so sure about the placement of this nuke because it's only going to catch, the very edges are going to catch this, not making it that effective. Meanwhile, we do have banelings on the field from LiquidTLO. LiquidTLO, not sure what he's doing with that right there, but this Ghost and this Hellion is not going to be enough to hold this as LiquidTLO is about to bust this door. This one supply depot is going to be woefully inadequate as we saw the we saw that nuke throw down, but didn't really do much right there. And we do see and we saw a nuke attempt in his own base. But right now, Torch has his mineral line wide open. We do see a couple banelings going off in the mineral line. We do see this one Hellion trying to kill these Zerglings. We do see one Zergling get toasted right there. And we do see Torch throwing in the towel. So Torch losing to LiquidTLO, being knocked into the loser's bracket. But as far as I'm aware, right now, as of the morning of the 7th, he is still in it. But I haven't checked the brackets. I haven't checked out the latest of the brackets. So Torch being thrown down there, that's why I went up against him in the next game, and I got stomped by him. But that was pretty awesome. You got to give him props for trying to use a nuke. Not so sure about the nuke placement, as he could have cloaked and would not have been seen. But, oh, he didn't have cloak. That's why. Duh. Either way, that was pretty cool, and I'm going to be casting a lot more games from this as there are a lot of really awesome games, namely Select beating Hydra, actually kicking Hydra out of the game, and then we saw Nazgul, Liquid Nazgul, kicking Hydra out of the winner's bracket, and we saw Huck get thrown out of the winner's bracket, and actually Huck is still in it as he won. I forgot who he won against, but either way, we've got a lot of big names, we've got a lot of big matchups, so guys, please join me. And as always, citizens, stay safe.